Oh my darling, we seem to be stuck in this elevator. My goodness. Oh my, oh my. I seem to have seen you on what the children say, the MTV. You're Lady Gaga? Oh my goodness. I see we both have a flair for the unexpected, Mrs. Gaga. I think we're going to be stuck here for a while. What is that you say? You're going to hit your boyfriend's. You're going to run your motorcycle into your boyfriend's garage. Oh, Mrs. Gaga, Mrs. Gaga, Mrs. Gaga. Let me say this, dear. As a grandmother of four and a mother of seven, all of my children has a flair for the extravagant, Mrs. Gaga. However, let me start by saying, being the infamous, famous person that you are, Mrs. Gaga, I'm going to ask that you not crash your motorcycle into your boyfriend's car. Well, the reason why you shouldn't crash your boyfriend's car into his garage is for several reasons. You're famous. You can't go anywhere, darling, without someone seeing you somewhere. You know, us women that we are with the flair for the big, beautiful hair, they will notice you immediately, darling. It will be on the tabloids everywhere, dear. So that's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Secondly, the press is going to just be over everywhere. However, that is free publicity. However, you're going to have to go to jail. You're going to have to go to court. We cannot wear the big, beautiful hair in jail. Not at all. Not a good look, darling. Not a good look. Not at all. And who wants it? I mean, blue hair? Who wants to have blonde hair, brown hair, gray hair, when we can be fabulous, blue, and big? Mrs. Gaga, you say what? Well, let me tell you how I handle my man problems. First of all, marriage and relationship is a responsibility of two people. First of all, Mrs. Gaga, you have to choose wisely. You cannot meet every man in the club and think he's going to be in love with you, honey. He's there to meet the women, all of the women, and you just happen to be what they say he's fishing, and you just so happen to be caught on the hook for the night. You have to evaluate the person to make sure they are of good standard, good moral conduct, and they have the same beliefs that you have, Mrs. Gaga. That is one. Secondly, the Bible says two people need not to be unequally yoked. Now, some people may say, well, that's a religious quote. However, you cannot go and get a homeless man and a very wealthy woman and put the two together because his beliefs and your beliefs are two totally different things. Now, he may be homeless because of mental illness or because of lack of responsibility. However, if you put a very poor man in a very wealthy woman's house or vice versa, first of all, they're going to wonder when will their prosperity end. So they may have a tendency to pick up things that they wouldn't or hoard things that they should not. So, Mrs. Gaga, not a good thing. We have to make better choices, much better choices. Then you have to make yourself a priority, Mrs. Gaga. Do not allow yourself to be an option for someone who does not make you a priority in their life. So, what is that you say, my dear? How long have I been married? Well, dear, I've been married several times. That's why I have all those children, darling. I have a children by every different man. But I was married to every one of them. However, it took mother some time, or as I should say, your grandmother. It took grandmother some time to learn that one, she was a priority in her own life. Two, that character is important. And three, you must have something in common. Who wants to talk to the wall when you can have some um, when you can have some good conversation with your husband or your mate? So, oh darling, it looks like they have the elevator repaired now. Mrs. Gaga, here now. You take my cell phone number. Yes, dear, I've put yours in. I'm texting you now, dear. Yes, dear. Okay, I've given that my number to you. Please keep in contact. It has been a pleasure. Put the motorcycle away, darling. We're not going to do that. Put the keys away. All right now. Bye bye. Bye bye, dear.